Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes, obviously I had to do that intro because today we are doing a Shane Dawson Conspiracy inspired look using the Conspiracy palette and the Mini Controversy palette. I was able to snag these on the day of the launch, which I'm really surprised by because I was sure that they were going to be sold out by the time I got on the website, and then I just waited and waited and waited, and I was able to get one, which was super exciting, and they came in. I've had these for probably a month, and I don't want to touch them until I do this video, so that's why they're all nice and new, and I haven't used them yet. But of course, after this video, I'm going to be using them a whole lot because these colors are just super exciting. So I'm going to go prime my face, get some foundation on, and we'll get back into it. Okay, and I'm back. I got most of my face foundationed, except for this part of my eye. And we're gonna figure that out because I'm going to be using latex. And I'm using the silicone brush. It's usually used for face masks, but I found that it's really good for liquid latex because it doesn't stick to the brush and it's a lot easier to apply rather than using a regular brush or a sponge, because then it just sticks to itself and it's really annoying. So we are going to create a triangle using the liquid latex. And before you freak out, I did glue my eyebrow down with an Elmer's glue stick. That way, after this is all said and done, the latex will not take my eyebrow off. Now that I'm finished with the basic triangle shape, I'm going back in with the latex, adding a thicker layer so that it'll be easier to tear and easier to blend into the skin. Now, once I'm finished building up the triangle, I am going to go back in and create a couple of patches on my face, one on my cheek, and I'm not closing it all the way, that way it is easier to tear once it dries, and then I'm doing another one on my jaw on the opposite side. So now that it's all dry, it's time to tear it up. So I'm just going on the inside of the patches and creating that ripped skin effect. And I'm also going into the triangle. The only thing I had to do was I had to tear the corners in a way so that it didn't look rounded. It was a more sharp angle, but all I had to do was tear up the latex. Okay, so that's what we got. Now I'm going to be taking some just regular red lipstick and a brush, and I'm just gonna start by applying the lipstick to the latex pieces and then blending it out as best as I possibly can. I didn't have concealer, so this is what I used instead, and it works out really nicely because then when we put the foundation on top of it, it looks more natural. Looks pretty wicked, but I promise it'll get fixed. So now I'm gonna be taking this Revlon Candid foundation. I got it today, so I have no clue how good it is. I mean, it went on nicely, so that's a plus, but we shall see how it works for the rest of this. So now I'm taking the foundation and applying it on top of the red lipstick, trying to blend it out as best as possible, and also going on the inside of our gashes, wounds, whatever you want to call it, and applying foundation there as well. Okay, so this is what we got so far. Now, for the fun stuff, finally. So I am going to be going in to the nice little Illuminati, and I'm also going to be using shade Conspiracy. So first we're going to start off with Conspiracy. So I'm going in with a blending brush and applying the color Conspiracy to my eye, and then after applying the color Illuminati, I realized that it showed up a lot better, and the Conspiracy was a little sheer, so I just went all over my eye with the color Illuminati, and then applied the color Conspiracy on top, on the high points like my eyelid, my brow bone, and my cheek to give it more depth. And I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go into my rides here, and we're gonna go deep in the corners with it. The reason I'm doing this is to create more dimension, and so that there's more distinction between my natural skin and this triangular piece. I'm also going in with the same color and filling in my crease, my eyebrows, under my eye, so that there's more of a focus on these areas. Now I'm moving on to the other patches, going into the color Canceled and applying it to the middle of the patch, and then I'm going in with the color The Simulation, going on top of that so I get the best blue that I can. After this, I'm going into the color Controversy and doing the same thing we did with the eye and putting it on the outer corners. Going to be going into this part with a nice little white eyeliner. And I'm going into the patches with the eyeliner, creating the diamond-shaped scales and just going back over it to create as much pigment as I possibly can. After I'm finished with this side, I move on to the other side and do the same exact thing. At this point, my camera doesn't know what it's looking at, but bear with me. So once both sides are complete, I'm just going back over, making sure it's as pigmented as I can possibly get it. Then I'm going into our eyepiece, doing the same exact thing, creating lines, giving the shape highlights. So I'm putting it on my crease, above and below, also underneath, creating those wrinkles and giving it a patchwork texture. Now I'm using a blending brush and going into the color Just a Theory, applying it to my crease and lower lash line. And then I'm going to take my nice little angled brush, because I really like going into the crease with that. And we're actually going to go in to Not a Fact. Now I'm just packing this color onto my crease and then blending it out as best as I possibly can. Then I'm going into the color Flaming Hot and blending it into my crease as well. Then I'm using both colors, Not a Fact and Flaming Hot, mixing them and then putting them into my crease and lower lash line. After this, I'm going into Just a Theory and blending it all out. I'm gonna go into my pills. I'm applying this color to my lid to give it more of a undefined cut crease look, and then I'm going back into my crease to make it just a little bit darker. Okay, I've come up with a plan. So I'm gonna use some of this Sleep Paralysis. And I'm just packing this color into my outer corner and then blending it in as best as possible. Then I'm going into the color My Boyfriend's Purse and applying it to the rest of my lid, then blending the two together for a seamless transition. After this, I'm dusting off the fallout and then using my finger, applying the color Ranch to my inner corner. After this, I'm using black eyeliner to give our all-seeing eye more lines so it looks more like a drawing, giving it some shading, using some cross-hatching, giving it that texture. After this, I'm just outlining my eye and then doing the same thing to my other eye. And I will admit that eyeliner is not my strong suit, but I did give it the good old college try. And now I'm gonna do my eyebrows off camera because I don't want to be judged. Now I'm going in with some Maybelline Colossal Mascara and applying it to my upper and lower lashes. And I wanted to try something different with the lips. I've seen this done before, so I'm going in with a blending brush using the shade Trisha, and I'm applying it to my lips. Then after this, I'm taking an angled brush and going into the shade Not a Fact and applying it to the corners of my lips. After this, I'm using some concealer to clean up any messes that were made with the eyeshadow because it isn't as clean as I would want it to be, and I'm giving my lips a more defined shape. Once this is finished, it is finally time to use the fake blood. So I'm going in with a stippled applicator, and I'm not liking the way it looks, so I'm opting to use a regular brush, and then not liking the way that looks either, so I tried my finger, and then I'm just opting to use the normal fake blood applicator. I'm applying it to the edges of our prosthetics, and then trying to blend it out, make it a little bit more messy so it's not so clean. After this, I am contouring my face, going into the cheekbones and my forehead to try and not make it look so big. And once this is done, I'm just applying a little bit more fake blood, and we are finished. So this is the reptile scales, the all-seeing eye, all underneath this pretty makeup look. I think it turned out really cool. Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, and welcome back to another creepy video. No, but overall, I am really happy with how this turned out. It turned out a lot better than I expected it to. So we have the all-seeing eye, some nice lizard scales. I was gonna say lizard reptiles. Don't know what I'm doing with my life, but we do have nice lizard scales, and I also did a nice little smoky eye, whatever you want to call it. I just do things. I don't know what they're called. As you can tell by this video. And if you judge me about my eyebrows, I know you're going to, so you don't have to. I know I do them like nobody else does them, but I like the way they are. So there you go. I hope you liked this look. I am really happy with how it turned out. I like that it's creepy and conspiracy-like. So if you tried a Shane Dawson conspiracy look or anything cool like that, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you want to see me do something next, let me know, and I'll catch you next time.